Hello Liz, and hello Steelers, and welcome to another Bench Report hobby update. Another week has gone by, but I didn't do one last weekend because I was over in Verdon with Mark and Dave and Paul, so I'll talk about that in a little bit, explain what I was doing, but there is going to be a video report of that at some point in the future, a bit like the Waterloo one that I did last year as well, just about a trip to the battlefields basically. But I'll talk about that in a little while. First of all though, because I was away, I didn't get a huge amount painted, but I did actually paint a couple of artillery pieces, and these are from Warlord, part of their epic set. I'm actually making a video on these on how to paint them as well, at least how I paint them, so that's basically why I was painting these. So I got these finished off, and I also finished off a couple of ADCs or commanders as well, a couple of extra French ones and a couple of British ones as well in that mix, just to really just to finish off some of the spare figures that you get from the cavalry units and things that you get with the epic stuff. They work out quite nicely for that. So that's basically what I've painted really. I just haven't had a chance, as I say, really this week to do much more because I got back quite late and had a few other events to go to as well over the week. So I'm actually working on some 95th rifles at the moment. I'm going to paint all of those as a batch and then just do them together and get the rest of those finished from the epic Warlord box sets. In the post, or at least kind of in the post, I actually bought these through Roy quite a while ago, and I managed to pick them up off him at the club this week. And we've got a Cobra attack helicopter platoon, also two sets of Huey platoons as well. These are obviously from Battlefront. These are the Team Yankee ones, but they are going to be pressed into service in Vietnam, and I wanted quite a few because you need quite a lot of Huey platoons at least for Vietnam anyway, for the Charlie Don't Surf, for any of the platoons. So there's 4 extra aircraft in there. They'll add to all the other ones that I've got, and also the Cobras are also attack vehicles as well in the Chain of Command Vietnam version that John Savage sent to me. What I was thinking of doing was maybe looking at getting some discs of perspex cut, maybe from war bases. They might do them for me, and then I can actually make it look like the rotors are actually working on these aircraft as well. So that's something I might think about in future, but you never know. Also in the post as well this week, I got a new Wargaming Soldiers and Strategy magazine, which is a good issue. It's all about the American Civil War in this particular one, but I just wanted to bring people's attention to a very good write up here by Rich Clark of Two Fat Lardies, basically about the cult of negativity and also negativity in the hobby itself as well. It's a very good read, and it serves as a bit of a mind your manners to those kind of people who would describe people who like other games that they don't like as cultists, let's say. So it's a very good read. I think you can get a PDF version of it. It's worthwhile having a good read of that and just seeing how some people can change attitudes in the hobby at least, and try to be a little bit more inclusive, I guess. Just to mention in other news, as we go ahead, I'm actually selling my Blood Bowl 2nd edition stuff. I've had it for ages, I've had it for years. I bought it originally, I'm selling it over on eBay. I'll put a link down in the description, so if you want to go and make a bid on stuff, there's quite a lot of things in there. Some fully painted teams, it's all 2nd edition stuff, so it's all pretty much old hammer. There's the board, the box and all that kind of stuff as well, some of the books as well for it, and I'm just having a bit of a clear out, and this is one of the things that has to go. The reason for that is when Blood Bowl first came out, I bought it and I loved it and I played it to death, me and my mates, and then I think I eventually sold it off. But then about 10-15 years ago I got back into it. I just bought a copy of it off eBay, and then I also started, because I had a bit of spare cash kicking about, I bought a lot of the original 2nd edition teams. The reason for that was because I just wanted to get back to, I wanted to buy stuff that I couldn't afford when I was a kid, when I was really into Blood Bowl. So I did that, and I kind of scratched that itch, and I've had a load of stuff just sitting in boxes for, it's got to be at least a decade now, and I kind of think I'm not going to be playing this, and I'm not going to play the game again. We haven't played it for, again, at least 10 years. it was a good game back in the 80s. It certainly has a lot of... It needs quite a lot of updates, and I know there has been since 2nd edition at least. But I just found it, it wasn't for me. It wasn't my kind of game. It's sitting there, sitting on the shelf. It's sitting in boxes. Let's just get rid of it. Let somebody else have some joy. So go and check out the eBay listings. There's a couple of other things in there as well. There's some 15mm Vikings and also a 15mm Wallachian army for DBA as well, which I'm also getting rid of. Just again, stuff I'm never going to use again. I'm just clearing some space a little bit. This week, down at the club, Dean and I played Xenos Rampant. It's our first game for quite a while. I bought the rules when they came out, but Dean was talking about the other day. We played a couple of games of it when they first came out. Really enjoyed it, and then I kind of put it on a shelf, and I kept meaning to do a review of it on a couple of games on the channel, but in the several years that I've actually had it, I've just not done it. So that again tells me something. So Dean was asking about it the other day, and he asked if he could borrow the copy. I said no, you can have it, because I've probably pretty much got no use for it, and if I'm going to play it, I'll play it with him anyway. So it's kind of like just passing it on to somebody who wants to read the rules. It's a good game. It's a great game, don't get me wrong. It's good fun, but from my point of view, I think the list building in it is the thing that I'm not particularly interested in. I like the game and I like the sandbox nature of it, and it may sound contrary, but it does sound as though, it does feel as though I will never sit down and make lists for it. I did a few, and I know there are some included in the rules, but we had a great game of it. It was basically the Earth forces trying to force their way through a Martian roadblock, and I was the Earth forces with their heavy infantry and power armor and a walker against some basically skirmishers from the Martian side of things. We both we stayed on the same side, but we had two games. First one, I hammered him. In the second one, it got a little bit more dicey, but I still was able to push through with my heavy infantry. I think Dean learned a very important lesson about not engaging in long-range firefights with heavy infantry. That's for certain. But it was a good game. And we've talked about actually filming it at some point as a game for the channel, so look out for that. It won't be along for a long time, because we were going to do it this weekend, but things have come up that means we can't, so we'll probably do it at some point in future. But do look out for that. That should be fun. The other thing to mention is, yes, I went to Verdon last weekend, and it was brilliant with Mark, Dave and Paul, and it was a really good trip. It was well worth it. It was a long journey down to, first of all, to Milton Keynes for me for the night, and then also the drive down there was about 6 hours in total from Milton Keynes down to Verdon itself. So it was a long old haul, but well worth it. We went to the forts of Douaumont and Vaux. We then also spent some time tramping around in the woods up at the Mort Homme, and then we also went on a walk from Christine Holstein's book of following the fallen, the footsteps of the fallen, around where Colonel Driant on the first day of the assault at Verdun had attacked, was killed, and had been buried. So he wanted to walk around there, and then also went for a much longer walk around that area to the ruined village of Beaumont as well. Rather than doing anything else, I'm going to put together a video of this, but I took loads and loads of pictures. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to stick in a video montage, a photo montage of the photos that I took, so you can have a look at some of the stuff that we saw. I'm not going to give you too many details here, because I'll be covering all this in the later video anyway. But check out this photo montage, and I'll see you in a minute. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that photo montage. I'm going to wrap up here just to say that next weekend is Partisan, the other Partisan, so I'll be there and I'll make a show report of that. So I'll try and get that out as quick as possible as I can after the Sunday. So hopefully I shall see quite a few of you there. If I do, come and say hello, we'll have a chat. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. It does help out the channel just grow as well. I'm over now for over 14,000 subscribers now, and I'd like to get it to 15k if I could at some point soon. So please hit that subscribe button, and also check out Patreon as well and channel membership, because you do get videos early and also ad-free like these bench reports. I try to put those out for Patreons and channel members beforehand, and it can cost you as little as £1 a month. All right, I'll leave it at that. Said so much, and I'm finishing up there, and I shall see you in the next Storm of Steel video.